All right. So let's go on to major lessons you hope leaders in game dev will take away from the work you've done, the stuff you've put out there, or we've put out there in the last
Hmm.
4 years. Like what are the big things?
I mean, there's so many of them. It's hard to focus on uh, even a couple, but I'll just again incentives and how to build them is one. Um, Managing effectively up and down with principle for leaders is really important because okay, cool. You feel like you're a director or you're a senior product person or operations person or whatever. Like you can actually sit down with your manager and reshape your incentives in a better way. Like that's a conversation you could have.
Mm-hmm.
Like stop letting fear drive you and your decision making. Stop being a victim of the system. Sit down with your like you might be surprised how receptive they are to reshape those incentives if you have the skills to drive those conversations. And that's so much of what the work we've been doing over the last couple of years is teaching people how to drive those conversations effectively, right? It sounds like a philosophical thing, but it's not. You're going to work tomorrow. At some point, you're going to sit down and have a conversation with your boss. You might have frustrations about the way things are working, or all the meetings you have to go to, or all the documents he keeps asking for. So sit down and have the conversation. Say no. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to rethink what I should be focusing on, and then I'm going to pitch that to my boss.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing they can say is no. So do it. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, that's the stuff I want leaders to focus on. Stop just accepting the system as it is. You're not a politician. You're not a bureaucrat. You're not in Congress. Like, we're in one of the most innovative fields in the world. We need to start acting like it. So those are the things, like reshape your reality. That's what leaders do, is they reshape their reality and the reality for others. Um, any other things I would like them to focus on? Um, Again, one is like really focusing on value adding activities versus non value adding activities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I see way too much time spent on non value adding activities, and I think it worries me. Um, for example, if you're having like a philosophical conversation about your next milestone and it's like 6 months away, and like the way you are primarily transacting with that idea is by passing around emails and documents and uh, design docs and meetings and all this crap, just so you can inevitably end up in a situation where 5 months from now you're like, oh crap, we're never gonna make it, and like we don't even know if it's good because no one's even ever seen it on a screen before. Don't do that. Like, value adding activity is like putting something in your game that's a gray box and having people play test it. Like, start shipping things now. Don't wait. There's a million excuses you can make up about why it's quote unquote not ready, or it's not good enough, or we won't be able to get good information because we don't have XYZ. Just do it. Just put it in the damn game and play it. Even if it all sucks exactly like you thought it would, I guarantee the ways in which it sucks will surprise you and teach you things. So do it. Like I that we're still doing mini waterfalls here, or waterfalls. And I just I it baffles me that leaders and teams don't seem to understand the connection between that and their failure to deliver quality
Mm.
product. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so like again, you like I too many leaders joke with me about how they have like 6 hours of useless eye rolling meetings every day or 3 days a week. That's unacceptable. You should not be accepting that. Like, that reality is not something you should just roll your eyes at and plod forward with. That's crazy. You're in 4 hours of meetings that you're cynical about that you think are useless every day. How are you going to deliver something great? How are you going to be there for your team? How are you going to be the leader that you want to be? If that's the baseline, like, what are you doing? Like, I'll say something racy, but it's like, it's on the table for me to go back to work as a leader in games again. Um, but like, I'll never accept that reality ever again. I will not play that game. And not because I don't want to follow the rules, not because I don't want to listen to my boss, not because I think meetings are bad, but because I will climb whatever mountain I need to climb if it means that I'm going to be out there adding value to people that I care about. Like, I'm not going to play ball with the corporate rule set and just show up and phone it in every day and then complain to my buddies over a beer on the weekends about how annoying my boss is. I'm just not going to do that anymore. Like, I really think that every leader in this industry should want something better for themselves and for their teams. And again, I think this stuff is actually quite a bit easier to change with a little bit of courage and a little bit of perseverance